Now that I know what my story can be about, I guess I should get going. Mm-hmm. There's more to than just the theme of the story. Of course, there is. There's something called the plot, and that includes the exposition, the rising action, the climax, the falling action, and the denouement. What's all of this? This seems Latin and Greek to me. Could you kindly explain what you just said? Of course, don't worry. I mean, what else am I there for? Well then, without much ado, let's begin the video. A plot can be defined as a series of events that describe the story of a book, novel, or for that matter, a film. Plots usually, and I stress on the word usually, work on the principle of cause and effect, which is pretty self explanatory, but there's no harm in explaining it in further detail. So, basically, what a plot entails is a concatenation of events, which means that one event under normal circumstances leads to another event. So, in my opinion, if I would boldly claim that the plot is single-handedly the most important aspect of writing a story. Without it, your story, your novel, or for that matter, your film would be absolutely meaningless. It would be a juxtaposition of incoherent, inconsistent, and just matched up unrelated subplots, fillers, and it will be a mess. So, what constitutes a plot? There we have, as I had previously stated, the exposition, rising action, the climax, falling action, and the denouement. And for the purposes of convenience, I have made a flow chart where I've described each of these terms in great detail. Before we begin the flowchart, studying the flowchart, please understand that without a plot, your story is, it's a rudderless ship. You'll have a stock of stories. You won't have one coherent story, and there's no need to become goosebumps. You don't need to become R.L. Stein when you're just barely entering the world of writing, right? Well, let's start the flowchart. Okay, so here we are. This is the plot, which is a concatenation of events. It consists of, as I had previously stated, exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and the resolution or denouement. So, in the beginning, we have the. Oh, extremely sorry for that malfunction. So, in the first place, we have the exposition, which is basically the introduction. It's the beginning of the story where all the major characters are introduced and the setting, that is the backdrop or the universe of your story or film or novel, is established. It may or may not include the backstories of the characters. Then we come to the rising action, where the conflict is revealed, plot versus self, which is mostly psychological, plot versus antagonist, the most common, plot versus others, and the actions of various characters are also described here. Then we come to the single most important aspect of a story, which is the climax. It's the most important aspect. It's a turning point where it is supposed to be exciting and thrilling. It may include new info which may further the ambitions of either the antag or the protag. Then we come to the falling action, which is basically the consequences of the actions of the various characters, the protag, the protagonist, etc. And lastly, we come to the resolution, which is also called denouement. Basically, it entails the fate of the characters revealed, where it also includes the part where all the loose ends are tied and all loopholes are accounted for. Now, some pro tips. Cliffhangers should only be included when A, you're planning a sequel, or when you're trying to be O. Henry and trying to introduce a sting in the tail. And please ensure that there is no cluttering of the story. with numerous subplots and fillers. Please do not be Dragon Ball Super. Do not introduce unnecessary details. Do not throw the reader with jargonic information. And if you follow all of this, you're good to go. I hope that flowchart helped you. To make things more clear, I'll put a link on the description, and that will lead you to a website which is gonna explain each of these plot elements with respect to a famous book. I guess in this case it's Harry Potter, and I'm pretty sure there isn't anyone who hasn't read Harry Potter, so there are no issues of spoilers. Well then, I hope that this video helped you. Till then, keep reading, keep writing.